All right, here we are at Arby's in Goullettsville, and oh wait, hey, there's Bryan Toney,
Hello, everyone.
and I thought this is Bryan Toney. He and his family have been attending Peace Community Church for about a year now, and I just thought I'd sit down with Bryan just for a minute or two and just ask him a few questions while we're here at Arby's. Why not? First question, Bryan, is just how did you come to first really acknowledge your need to follow Christ wholeheartedly?
Well, it kind of started where I was kind of working before. I was always stressed out in the job, stressed out with just everyday occurrences, everyday parts of life, and just trying to control everything on my own.
Yeah.
And I came to realize that, this is obviously not the way I need to live my life. It was like, I knew, growing up, I believed in God. I knew about Jesus, but I didn't quite understand what it really meant to be a true follower of Christ.
Okay, so when did you hear about what it means to truly follow Christ?
Well, I attended church when I was younger. I mean, not regularly, but I did attend it somewhat, and then in high school as well. So I had a little bit of knowledge of that. I knew about it, but I didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, me and Laura, my wife, had decided that we wanted to try to find a church to start attending on a regular basis. We just both felt there was a need for both of us. Well, we kind of went back and forth and just kept talking about it. It was one of those things we talked about. We never really did it.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, one day, we just sat down and was like, look, this is something we have to do. We really need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We just both felt the need that we really, felt like we had something pulling us. We need to do this. So she found peace through the big old egg drop that they had on Easter.
Yeah, big old egg drop
last year. She was able to attend a couple services. I unfortunately was working on Sundays back then and was not able to. Finally, I was able to get off my Sunday schedule and start attending with her. And just kind of immediately, I felt right at home with everybody, and just felt really at peace. And just listen to the sermons and the messages really started to sink in with me what it really meant to be, just to give my life to Christ.
Yeah.
To give up control, because I know I'm not in control.
Yeah.
So I think finally attending church was finally. I was able to turn the corner and realize what it kind of meant to give myself to the Lord.
Yeah. Well, following that up, just with in the Bible clearly teaches and talks about when a person first believes, first commits to follow Christ, then the very next step is baptism. So, talk just for a minute or so about why you decided to be baptized and what that experience meant to you and to Laura.
Sure. Well, I knew I wanted to be baptized, but I didn't want to do it really right away because I wanted to make sure I fully understood what it meant to be baptized and what it meant to fully give myself to the Lord. So after a while, I was feeling more comfortable with my decision. I remember actually sitting down with you. And you asked me, do I feel like I'm ready, or do I really know what it means to be baptized and what it really means to give myself to the Lord? And, I was able to answer confidently, yes.
Yeah.
I finally get it. After all this time, I finally understand what it truly means to give myself to Jesus Christ, to live my life for His glory.
Yeah.
So I remember the day of the baptism, my wife, she also wanted to get baptized. She had got baptized, I believe, when she was younger, but she didn't really understand it either. So once she had a better understanding, she wanted to go through that as well. And I remember going through the baptism. I remember coming up from the water. I just remember there was just feel like a huge burden, huge relief off of me that I had just I had given up my old life of constantly worrying and constantly stressing about everything, but gave up my new life to the Lord and to follow Him and to live my life for His glory. And I just remember, thinking, what took me so long? Why did it take me so long to, I was like, if I had known this back then, I would have done this. But
better late than never, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I just felt truly blessed to be able to experience that.
Well, I remember that. I remember that night when you all got baptized in the pool there,
Yeah.
and man, everybody was, our whole church family was so excited because it was a picture of a changed life, and so thanks for sharing, man, and thank you for just your honesty and your willingness to follow Christ no matter what the cost.
That was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Bryan.